Hi everyone, welcome to Vijay Datta chemistry classes. In the last session we discussed about the atomic structure. Today I am going to discuss chemical bonding hybridization, which is very important in the examination point of view. So chemical bonding and hybridization. Hybridization is very important because they'll ask even while doing the inorganic bits and organic bits, they ask to calculate its hybridization, percentage of S character, percentage of P character, what is its bond angle. So everything will depends on the hybridization only. So let us see how to calculate the hybridization and types of the hybridization. Today I am going to discuss. So generally how many types of the hybrid orbitals we have. So hybridization totally we have a 7 types. Actually we can say that is sp hybridization, sp2 hybridization, sp3 hybridization, sp3 dehybridization, sp3d2 hybridization, and sp3d3 hybridization. Sp3 only we calculate even for the complex compounds, that is dsp2 hybridization. So these s and p orbitals are said to be hybrid orbitals. In case of sp3d, s orbital, p orbital, d orbitals are said to be hybrid orbitals. So the orbitals which are participating in the hybridization are said to be hybrid orbitals, and the complete phenomenon is called the hybridization. So how to calculate this sp hybridization? I will take one easy example and just I will go through that how to calculate the in the theory part. I'll give you the shortcut how to calculate the hybridization, whereas come to the how to identify this is the hybrid orbital, this is the pure orbital. Here you can see in this box they have given the pure orbitals involved in hybridization, and here resulting hybrid orbitals. So what is meant by pure orbital? What are the hybrid orbitals we should know? So I'll take one example, that is the beryllium chloride. I'll take so BeCl2. As we know beryllium, what is its electronic configuration? It is 1s2 2s2. So here outermost valency shell is the 2s2. 1s is called the core electrons which is not participating in the hybridization. 2s2 is the valency shell. So how many electrons it has? It has the 2. So here to form a bond with the chlorine it requires 2 unpaired electrons. So here hybridization, it will get the hybridization with the p. So p will be involved into this to get the unpaired electrons. So I am then the comings to the b beryllium, then it comes to the hybridization will be takes place 2s1 and 2p1. Now see here 1 p has px, py and pz. The one of the electron will be jump into the p orbital. Now how many are participating in the hybridization? S orbital is participated and px orbital also participated. So this is called s orbital and this is the p orbital, both are participating in the hybridization. So this is the sp hybridization, like we can say. So in this, now according to these hybrid orbitals, beryllium has the 2 valence electrons. Beryllium has 1 2. Now the chlorine, whatever we have, this chlorine has to form a bond with the beryllium. Then chlorine belongs to the 7th group. It has the 7 valence electrons, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This side also chlorine, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now to form a bond according to the octet, chlorine requires 8 electrons. Then it takes the 1 electron from the beryllium and it takes 1 electron from the beryllium, and beryllium will take each electron will be shared from this. Then beryllium will be stable with the duplet configuration. Actually we know the higher than the boron will be stable with the octet configuration, and below the beryllium, until the beryllium they will be stable with the duplet configuration because they will have the very less number of electrons. Then beryllium has 4 now and chlorine has the 8 electrons. Then the overall structure here it is BeCl2. BeCl2. See here. Now the beryllium has the electron here. Then how many orbitals are involved in the hybridization to give the unpaired electrons? 2 orbitals are involved, that is s and p. So the hybridization of BeCl2 is said to be the sp hybridization, and also here these sp are said to be the hybrid orbitals which are not involved. Chlorine is said to be the pure orbital. Even CH4 is considered CH4. CH4 carbon, how many electrons are involved, those are said to be the hybrid orbitals, and hydrogen will not involve in the hybridization, so hydrogen is said to be the pure orbitals. Like, so the orbitals which are involving in the hybridization are said to be the hybrid orbitals, which are not involving in the hybridization are said to be the pure orbitals, like we can calculate. Okay, now here also like this we'll calculate the hybridization. Let us come to the point. I'll come to the direct shortcut how to calculate the hybridization based on this. Okay, so let us see. I want to explain this tabular form. One s and one p orbital will give the sp hybridization. If we have a sp hybridization, then the shape of the molecules is said to be linear and the bond angle will be 180 degrees, and the examples are BeCl2. C2H2 also we can consider. So I'll explain you here what is the C2H2 molecule structure. C2H2 is said to be acetylene CH triple bond CH. So this is the triple bond, because always we have to calculate carbon's valency. And also here one more important thing, only pi bond will participate in the hybridization. Sorry, sigma bond will participate in the hybridization. Pi bond will not be participate in the hybridization. As triple bond is considered, one bond is the sigma bond, remaining two bonds are said to be the pi bonds. So only sigma bonds will be involved in the hybridization. Even we can calculate the lone pairs also. If we have any lone pair, then that also will be calculated. So here if we write the detailed structure of the C2H2, then it will be CH triple bond CH here. So carbon has the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Carbon valency is 4. It is satisfied, but it is the only one bond is formed with the carbon and hydrogen sigma, and here triple bond is there. Two bonds are said to be the pi bond, and one bond only the sigma. Always in triple bond also only one bond will be the sigma bond. Remaining two bonds are the pi bonds. If you take the double bond, one bond is the sigma, another bond is the pi bond. If only one bond is present, obviously that will be a sigma bond. Obviously that will be a sigma bond. So these carbon have two sigma bonds, two other lone pairs, so hybridization is sp. Here two sigma bonds, hybridization is sp. Like that we have to write. Okay, now let us say I will take some more examples and I will show you how to calculate the hybridization also. Next, come to the next type of hybridization, that is the one s orbital and two p orbitals will be involved, that is said to be sp2 hybridization. Total number of hybrid orbitals are 3, that is nothing but one s orbital and two p orbitals are involving. So total number of resulting hybrid orbitals will be 3 here, and the structure will be trigonal shape of the molecule, trigonal planar, and bond angle will be 120 degrees. BCl3C2H4 we can take as the example. Next, one s orbital and 3 p orbitals are involving, that is sp3 hybridization. Shape of the molecule is tetrahedral, bond angle will be here, and also here NH3H2O, they'll have the same hybridization but their bond angle is different. Again that one we'll discuss in the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Actually this is the main drawback of the hybridization, because if they have the same hybridization they should have the same bond angle and same shape, but CH4 is the tetrahedral in shape. Its bond angle is 109 degrees 28 minutes, whereas come to the NH3 it is the pyramidal shape and its bond angle will be distorted to 107, whereas come to the H2O, water molecule is V shape or angular shape, and its bond angle will be 105 degrees. Again it is more distorted. So what is the reason? It is not explained by the hybridization. That's why we came to the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory called VSEPR theory. That is again another part. In this part we are discussing about the hybridization. Now 1s orbital, 2p orbitals and d. This is what I said, the in the complex compounds we can observe this type of hybridization, DsP2. It is a square planar structure and its bond angle will be 90 degrees. These are called the complex compounds. These are the complex compounds. Again, nickel is the metal atom, chlorine for its coordination number, and these are the ligands. Again, we'll study this is in the complex compounds part. Next one is the 1s orbital, 3p orbitals, and 1d orbital. By sp3d it can be or dsp3. Generally, this dsp3 will appear in the complex compounds. General compounds will get the sp3d hybridization. Its shape will be tbp, that is nothing but trigonal bipyramidal structure. Its bond angle which are in the equatorial position, which are in the axial position, we have to see axial position shows 90 degrees and equatorial position shows the 120 degrees bond angle, and in between the plane also there will be the bond angle, that is 180 degrees. 180 degrees will be the axial position, equatorial position will be 120 degrees, and 90 degrees in between the area we can show. So 1s, 3p and 2d orbitals, sp3d. So it is square pyramidal or octahedral, bond angles will be 90 degrees and sf6 is its example. So I'll show you the structures of CH4 and PCl5 SF6. Let us see. Uh, so I have given you trigonal bipyramidal PCl5 structure, right? PCl5 is the trigonal bipyramidal structure I said. So what is the trigonal bipyramidal? Let us see. It is the trigonal planar. This will be the bipyramidal structure. See here, carbon will have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So its hybridization is sp3d hybridization, and the shape of the molecule is said to be a trigonal bipyramidal structure. Trigonal bipyramidal structure. And here, what are the bond angles we are going to discuss? This is the 90 degrees, and the in between these chlorine equatorial position will be 120 degrees, and between the axial position these chlorine and chlorine will have a 180 degrees bond angle. This is so here PCl5, the shortcut to calculate, you don't know the structure and all, just they asked in the exam what is the hybridization in the PCl5 molecule. So just see the shortcut, no need to remember any formula, just you have to remember the group number. Phosphorus belongs to which group? Fifth group. What are the fifth group elements? Just see fifth. That is what I said. Periodic classification is also very important. Atomic structure, periodic classification, chemical bonding comes under the general chemistry. General chemistry means they will give the, if you are thorough with those, then you are able to do the remaining parts in the portion. That is what fifth group. What are the fifth group elements? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth, right? So phosphorus belongs to the fifth group. So fifth group is nothing but its valence electrons are 5. We have a formula. Valence electrons 8 minus 5, group number minus 5 will give. So fifth group elements can have a valence electrons from -3 to, means its oxidation state will be -3 to +5, and its valence electrons are 5. Valence electrons will be equals to its group number. So phosphorus has how many valence electrons? 5 valence electrons. So I'll take the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phosphorus has 5 valence electrons. Chlorine will form a single bond only. So 5 chlorines we have. 5 chlorines will form bond with a 5 valence electrons. Now, so let us see, all are the sigma bonds only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 we have. So its hybridization will be sp3d hybridization. 2 sigma bonds sp hybridization. 3 sigma bonds sp2 hybridization. 4 sigma bonds sp3 hybridization. 5 sigma bonds sp3 dehybridization. 6 sigma bonds sp3 d2 hybridization. So here one more part, if you have a lone pair also you can count. Here phosphorus does not have any lone pair, so I did not count. We can take one more example, that is the SO2 molecule is there. Sulfur is the central atom. Sulfur belongs to the sixth group. What are the sixth group elements? Oxygen, sulfur, arsenic, oxygen, sulfur. Oxygen belongs to the fifth group, sixth group. So oxygen and sulfur also belongs to the sixth group here. So sulfur is equal to valence electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 valence electrons. As we know, oxygen will have a double bond. So you have to take 2 electrons for the oxygen. How many oxygens we have? 2 oxygens. So see here. So 2 oxygens form one, 2 bond electrons participate the bond with oxygen. Here 2 more electrons participate. So 2 more electrons are left. This one we have to consider as the one lone pair. Now let us see. Out of these two bonds, one is the sigma, another one is the pi. One is the sigma, another one is the pi. Only sigma bonds and lone pairs we should calculate. So 1 sigma, 2 sigma and one more lone pair. So total is 3. That too 2 sigma bonds plus 1 lone pair. So total 3 we have. 3 is nothing but which hybridization? I said sp2 hybridization. That's why the structure due to the presence of the lone pair on the sulfur. Sorry. So it is SO2 S double bond O, but it has a one lone pair on the sulfur. Due to that, the bond angle will be distorted than the linear structure. SO2 molecule is not linear in shape because due to the presence of the one lone pair. So this is the shortcut. We have to identify the hybridization easily without remembering any formula. Just we have to remember 3 points to write the hybridization. The first point, the very first point is how to number of valence electrons should know. Suppose see first group elements. First group, what are the first group elements? Hydrogen anyway will calculate under the first and seventh. I'll go to the next. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. These are the first group elements. They'll have the valence electrons are 1. Come to the second group elements. Second group elements are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. So these are the second group elements. They'll have the valence electrons 2. Come to the third group elements. So the third group elements are boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium. They will have the 3 valence electrons. Comes to the fourth group elements. So what are the fourth group elements here? Fourth group elements are carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. So its valence electrons are 4. 4 valence electrons. Comes to the fifth group, then fifth group comes under, already I written here, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. They'll have the 5 valence electrons. Next comes to the sixth group. Sixth group elements are oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. These are the sixth group elements. They'll have the valence electrons are 6 valence electrons. Now come to the seventh group. Everybody knows this is belongs to halogens. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine and astatine. Anyway, it is the radioactive element. We consider fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. They'll have the 7 valence electrons. And anyway, we know 0 group elements: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. 8th group elements are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Radon belongs to the radioactive element. Here helium stable with the duplet configuration. Remaining neon, krypton, argon, krypton, xenon will have the 8 valence electrons in its outermost shell. So the very first point to write the hybridization, we have to remember its valence electrons. Okay, and the next one, any lone pair of electrons are present or there, we have to check. Then we have to write the hybridization according to this. If we have a 2 sigma, then sp hybridization, 3 sigma sp2. Suppose you have a 2 sigma and 1 lone pair, sp2 hybridization, 4 sigma sp3, 5 sigma sp3d hybridization, 6 sigma sp3d2 hybridization. So based on these points, let us do some problems based on the hybridization. Okay, here they given the some questions. See here, which of the following statement is true? He is asking to calculate the identify the true statement. See, hybridization of the central atom in NH3 and CH4 is sp2. So here just now I given you the shortcut. Based on that shortcut we can identify its hybridization. See here NH3. NH3 molecule nitrogen belongs to which group? Fifth group. So write the 5 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hydrogen forms anyway single bond only. So 3 electrons will form a bond with the 3 hydrogens. Remaining 2 electrons we will consider as the lone pair. So total only one bond is there, that one we consider as a sigma bond, sigma, sigma, sigma and one lone pair. So total 3 sigma bonds plus one lone pair. So 3 sigma plus 1, so called 4. The hybridization is sp3 hybridization, but he given here sp2 hybridization, so this statement is wrong. And he said and, so anyway wrong, but I'll show you the hybridization for the CH4 also. Carbon belongs to fourth group, right? 4 valence electrons, so hydrogen will form a single bond, so single bond. Here no lone pairs, all are the sigma bonds only. So 4 sigma bonds also gives the sp3 hybridization. So hybridization in NH3 and CH4 is sp2. So this statement is not correct. He asked the true statement. Next come to the BCl2 has V shape while SO2 is linear. This is not correct because beryllium chloride, just now in the previous slide I explained you the beryllium chloride structure. Beryllium belongs to the second group, so its valence electrons are 2. So 2 chlorines will form a bond 2, so only 2 sigma bonds. So hybridization is sp hybridization. Sp hybridization it have, so it no lone pairs, so it is linear, not the V shape. That is wrong. And come to the SO2 structure. SO2 also I just now explained. Sulfur belongs to the sixth group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So oxygen will form a double bond, not the single bond. So 2 electrons for 1 oxygen, 2 electrons for 1 oxygen. So what is left? 1 lone pair. So here 2 sigma bonds plus 1 lone pair. So hybridization is sp2. sp2 hybridization, but if sp2, that is a trigonal planar shape, trigonal planar, but he given while SO2 is the linear, so it is also a wrong statement. BeCl2 is the linear shape because it has the hybridization. BeCl2 is the linear. sp hybridization linear, sp2 trigonal planar, sp3 tetrahedral and sp3d trigonal bipyramidal. Sorry, sp3d2 octahedral, sp3d3 pentagonal bipyramidal. These are the shapes of the molecules with the hybridization. We have to identify. By identifying the hybridization, immediately we are able to identify the structure also. Next come to the SF6 is octahedral and FSS bond angle is 90 degrees. Let us see. SF6 is the octahedral. Octahedral is nothing but this is the structure. First of all, we should know what is either SF6 is octahedral or not. We have to check. Okay, SF6 bond you have to identify the hybridization. Sulfur belongs to the sixth group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fluorine forms a single bond only. Single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond, single. So SF6 it is. So SF6 molecule. All are 6 sigma bonds. 6 is nothing but 1s, 3p, 4 completed. So D2, sp3 D2, 6, its hybridization is octahedral. So he is asking FSS, that is nothing but he is asking the this one octahedral and SFS bond angle. See here, this is 180 degrees. Okay, and this has 190 degrees. Fine, right? And also here see, this also we can take this and this, both are perpendicular to each other. This one is 90. So which of the following statement is true is nothing but SF6 is true. So why not CO2? He said CO2 has dipole moment. We know dipole moment is directional. CO2 molecule bond, it is C double bond O like this. So the direction of the dipole moment will be towards the highly electronegative element. Carbon and oxygen is considered, oxygen is more electronegative. So the direction of dipole moment is this side. Here carbon and oxygen, the direction of the dipole moment is this side. So both are in opposite direction, will get cancelled. Then dipole moment value will be 0. It has no dipole moment, but he given CO2 has dipole moment, so this option is also wrong. So this is the correct option. We have to do it in the fraction of seconds because we have a time for the 1 minute only for one bit. That's why we have to do it fast. I given you the clear information how to check it out, but you have to be fast while doing the bits. Next one, let us do some more bits. Next, the hybrid orbitals with maximum s character. Yes, this is also one important. They can ask in some questions what is s character, what is p character, what is d character. So let us see how to calculate the percentage characters. So here I am taking the sp hybridization. Sp means how many are here? 2 are there. Total percentage will be, we consider to the 100. And how many hybrid orbitals are there? Only 2 hybrid orbitals. So 100 by 2, which gives you the 50%. So each s is 50% and p is 50%. Okay, next come to the sp2. sp2 is nothing but 3 hybrid orbitals are there. 1 s orbital hybrid orbital, 2 p hybrid orbitals, total are 3. So 100 by 3. So if you calculate this, you will get 33.3 something. So s will have a 33.3. 2 p orbitals are there, each one has 33.3, but here one s has, so it, so p orbitals are 2 are there, so 2 into 33.3 will gives you 66.6. So p character is 66.6, s character is 33.3. Next come to the sp3. sp3 is nothing but how many hybrid orbitals we have? 4. So total will be 100 by 4. Obviously each one gets the 25%. Only one s is there, so s is 25%. p orbitals are 3 are there, total is 75%. Next one is the sp3d. Total we have a 5. 5 is nothing but 100 by 5 we have to calculate. So if you calculate the 100 by 5, each one gets 20. So only one s is there, s 20%. p 3 parts are there, 3 20s are 60%. d is also 20% is there. So p3 s character is 20%. So you can see which one is higher. sp is 50%, sp2 is 33.3%, and sp3 is 25%, s is 20%. He is asked the maximum s character. Maximum s character will be possible in sp, so our option is sp. Okay, the type of overlapping in bromine.